Good morning from Los Angeles. Welcome to Trading with Sergio. Short week. How's everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? We're supposed to be getting a wet Christmas in Los Angeles, or in California specifically. And it's a short week. So we're going to have markets close at 10 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday. And obviously, markets are closed on Thursday, and we're back to open on Friday. Same thing next week, by the way. 31st being a Wednesday. Is it? Let me check. I think it's the same routine, but I think the market doesn't close. Yeah, 31st is a Wednesday. Markets are open full day, but then the first markets are closed, and the second we're back on. So shortened cycle for options, looks like. And so, yeah, that's where we are. What's going on with the markets? Pretty slow, low volume, going to be going through the end of the year. Indexes are up, building my 52-week high list, up to 60, let's see, up to, how many names? I'm not sure. 62 names. I'm going to cap it about 75 to 80. I will talk about that shortly. That's the pivot for next year. Some economic news coming out, some of the old stuff that wasn't released. Let's just go through that list real quick. Today, actually, October PC inflation data. October, though, we're in December. All these numbers are old. Tomorrow should be interesting. Q3 2025 GDP data coming out tomorrow. And on Tuesday as well, again, December consumer confidence data coming out. Consumer confidence is not good at the moment, but Christmas shopping, especially on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, were pretty good. On Wednesday, October, going back again, durable goods data, and on Tuesday, tomorrow, October new home sales data. So some are October, some are current, some are there. So you got to keep track of what's going on. Yeah, positions are positions. I established a couple of positions, took nice profits on Sienna. That was the first pick of the 52-week high list, and added a couple more actually on Friday. UiPath is doing well, up about 70 cents, and options are up about 25% already. And added WVE just now. I'll add some more. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pivot. I used to do this religiously, and laser focus money management, taking 50+% gains, 25, cut the losses at 25%, and not worry about win rate. And that's it. That's what's going to happen in 2026, and let's see how that goes. What else is going on? One thing that I wanted to really quickly talk about is that I was looking at the margin rates, and put the questions up, by the way. And if anybody wants to come on, you're more than happy to host. So here's the link. If anybody wants to come on and show their face, we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I have about an hour for today. And what's going on with crypto? Not much. It's just kind of going sideways to, not tight, but reasonably tight trading range for crypto anyway, because you have these whooshes that go down, crypto goes down 3-4%. All the leverage longs get liquidated, and then it pumps up 3-4%. All the leverage shorts get liquidated. So, pretty sideways. I mean, either we're putting a bottom here or we're just establishing another top here to fall off of. We'll find out. But again, the price takes precedence for me. I just listen to the price, watch the price, and that's all I can do. I can't do more than that. So today, let's go with this week's schedule. I don't think it's going to get affected. Neither is next week's. So trading with Sergio on Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. and trading with Sergio on Wednesday. Markets are going to close at 10. I'll start at 10. Maybe we'll do like a town hall of kind of a thing, but then a lot of people are off for Christmas, so I don't know how many people will show up. Friday, we're back to Power Hour with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Same thing goes on next week, since 31st and 1st are falling exactly what Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are falling on today. I mean, this week. So, yeah, we'll continue with the same scheduled programming. Next year, I may adjust some of the live streams. I may cut them down, not in duration, but in day. Maybe we'll do Monday, Friday. We'll do Trading with Sergio Monday, and then Power Hour on Fridays. We'll see. We'll see how my time goes as I'm spinning many, many plates. I want to shout out to Business Insider. In fact, I think I can post a link somewhere. Maybe I can. I'm not sure. Anyway, so if you go to Business Insider, Alex Bitter did an exclusive article on me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And please go check it out. And you guys will know my history, because it's pretty much, I mean, obviously they have limited, space to write the whole story, but please go check it out. Business Insider, Alex Bitter was the journalist who did the article. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. To have an exclusive in a prestigious outlet like Business Insider, I appreciate it. What else is going on? I was going to say, thank you for the support on the website and YouTube channel. Yeah, they're both growing, but website's about to explode. I have a belief. I deal with a lot of third-party companies that are interested in my new adventure, let's say. That adventure is financial literacy for everyone, from the gig worker all the way to elementary school kids, to high school, to college kids. Because I believe that's the path to decreasing or closing the gap, the wealth gap. Everyone must pay attention to financial literacy, because without that, we have not much going on. Okay, we just executed something. Let me go take a little quick, because I had some buy orders on some stocks. What did we do? Yeah, I think we bought some more UiPath. That's fine. We'll go through the positions real quick in a minute. Let's go back. Let's answer some questions. So a couple other things. Website is www. Actually, let me post it. www. My name. I think I spelled it correctly. There's the website. Yep, I didn't spell it correctly. Obviously, website is about a month and a half old. So please go check it out. There is a free, absolutely free. I'm not asking for anything from anyone. A lot of the people do Discords and Patreon. I don't care. I have the funds to support the website. So every Monday we send out an article at 12 p.m. Pacific. I think we have about 11, 12 articles, which are really, really well done. So shout out to Johan, to my website manager. He makes me look good. So, please go check it out. It's free newsletter. It can be a newbie, intermediate, advanced, whatever. There's something for everyone there. And so these third-party companies I deal with, obviously, they're pretty large. Obviously the Uber, Lyft, and Solo, and Gridwise, and OpenBay, and EverDriven, and many companies you may or may not have heard of. And what they lack is financial literacy of the workers. And I have amazing relationships with a lot of folks in these companies, and I think collaborations are going to come fast and furious. And I'm glad they're paying attention to it, because these types of collaborations and education of the workforce, financial literacy improvement, excuse me, gives them, the workers stick around a lot longer, right? And then especially if they start sharing the wealth that these amazing companies have been able to create. So I'm gonna do my part, and so I would love for you to spread the word about the website and about the newsletter. Again, it's free. All I'm asking you is your email so you can receive it in your mailbox every Monday at 12 p.m. And today, you have time to subscribe to the newsletter so you can get it get today's article. There's already amazing articles. Basically, what I'm trying to do with the website is finance could be really boring, and also it could be intimidating, and a lot of people are left behind because they think they need thousands of dollars to start investing. Nothing could be further from the truth. In this day and age of, when Robinhood democratized investing and trading, there's no excuse for not investing, right? And then, there's articles about dollar cost averaging, compounding, and rule of 72, and ETFs, all kinds of things already there. So please go check it out. And if you do like it, subscribe, and then please share. So that's the website. The other thing is I have a members group on the YouTube side where I post my trades live, and I post my positions at the end of the day, and I also do a live stream for them every Wednesday. It's a lot more one-on-one interaction with the members only. It's, none of this I'm doing seriously for the money. I don't need the money. YouTube doesn't pay. I have a much larger channel that I run with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and YouTube algorithms are as bad as anything else. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm just trying to do my part. I'm trying to pass my experience of 30 plus years in these markets for traders, and I want to introduce a lot of people to investing, because without investing, you're going to be left behind. Your paycheck is never going to cover the inflation that's going on in this country. Never will. It's not going to increase year by year to combat what the government's doing with debasing of the currency, with literally dollar being devalued and dollar losing its buying power. I mean, you guys know that already when you go shopping, right? Compare 5 years ago to today, 3 years ago to today. Everything you're buying is a lot more, but then the government keeps saying inflation is 2.5%. I'm like, no, it's not, But anyway, so, I would love for your support to spread the word that education and information is power, but then it has to be the correct information and correct education. And there are a lot of people on the internet, social media, that just go, "Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm driving a Lamborghini." I'm like, generational wealth is not created by day trading. Okay, so you have to understand, and you have to trust someone, and could be Dave Ramsey or it could be me. I don't know. I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on a lot of things, but he has created an immense following, and my goal is to inform and educate and teach people how to fish, not give them a fish. On my members group, I do give them the fish here and there, but then again, it's up to the individual to learn and to improve their lives. So if you want to become a member, go to the YouTube channel, click join, send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com, and I'll send you the Telegram chat group link. So, all right, let's say hello to the folks. Good morning, Luis. Good morning, Traveler. SC Austin says, it's about ETF contradictory message from yeah, I saw that. Yeah, his technical analyst looks like he's not too hot on ETH. First answer for that is the last part of your question. I do not listen to Tom Lee. Don't listen to anyone. I don't listen to my mother, rest in peace, if she was alive, or I don't listen to my wife, or I don't listen to anybody. I make up my own mind. I create my own thesis based on facts, and then I execute. I could be right. I could be wrong. I'm not going to, Tom Lee, fine, has been right so far all these years, being the perma bull that he is. He's entitled to be wrong. And look, for me, price takes precedence, then volume. The price is not, looking good. Either we're building another ledge to fall off of, or we're basing here. We'll find out. Maybe his technical analyst is looking at the pure picture, technicals, and then saying, yeah, we could get down to 60,000 on crypto. I mean, on Bitcoin, which I DCA'd some more today. I DCA Bitcoin every morning, and I hold. I take it out of exchange and put it in my cold wallet, and that's it. I don't do anything else. Same amount, and whatever the price is. I really didn't even look, honestly. So yeah, retail investors have a problem. Retail investors are not educated enough to come up with their own conclusions and create structured trades and rotate. They're all stuck in the same 20 names, top 10 mag 10s, and then 10 other names that I've talked about on this channel for forever now. They all trade the same 20 stocks, and they all listen to some influencer. Nobody knows more than anybody else, including Tom Lee. Market's going to decide. Market's a lot bigger than Tom Lee. Market's a lot bigger than me and any other influencer, okay? If you don't have your own ideas, don't trade, don't invest. Well, you could passive invest, just go plop your money into an ETF. I guarantee you will do better. Market returns 11.5% a year on average, including the bear markets. I don't think many people can beat that. And my thing is, yeah, there's a contradiction. What did it do to the ETH price? Nothing. But retail does get pushed and pulled, and retail does have power these days. Unlike the old days when I was on the desk, we used to laugh at retail. Now, retail is laughing at hedge funds. But markets are too big, too much, too oversized for anybody to move. Look, Tom Lee is buying ETH every single day into the hundreds of millions every week. Why isn't ETH going up? Well, because they're doing it in OTC desk. They're not doing it, on Coinbase. Okay, I get it. But you have to have this thesis, right? And then you create or structure an investment or a trade. If you're a short-term trader or an investor, two separate things. If you're an investor, if you buy his story, which I don't listen to much, I do agree with some things in his story, but I don't ever listen to anyone, including Wall Street analysts, which I dealt with for 25 years off the desk. They don't know any better. They just, obviously, they're educated. They have MBAs. Some are PhDs, and they create a story on fundamentals, and that's it, right? Or obviously, if you can't do that much research, but you have to have some sort of an idea. I mean, why do you like ETH? If you like ETH because it's Tom Lee, you're in deep shit. Simple as that. So, that's what happens when something like this happens. Retail gets confused. They go, oh, his technical analyst said this, but then Tom Lee's saying this. So do we listen to him? Like, I didn't listen to either one to start anyway. So it didn't affect me at all. I'm like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And, I'm going to watch like a hawk that my losses don't go above levels that can hurt me. I'm going to risk manage, regardless of Tom Lee, regardless of Fund Strat, regardless of some useless influencer on X or whatever. There are many people like that out there. They make good money. They have Discords, they have Patreons, they have whatever, memberships, and, okay, great, subscribers. I don't think they know anything more than a Tom Lee, and I don't think Tom Lee knows anything more than anybody else. The market is the market. Today, there is a price in front of you. That's the truth. You may agree, you may disagree. Now, sometimes you can catch an edge, or you can, discover something that's underpriced, undervalued, or overvalued, right? And then you transact. But that's my thought process. I'm really not paying too much attention to any of that stuff. And if you do pay attention to that stuff and transact or trade or invest because of that, you're going to be in trouble. Well, welcome, new subscriber. I'm glad you joined. Manny P, good morning. If you haven't heard Baidu's, yeah, I've heard already. I mean, look, there's a global push to autonomous vehicles, especially in the US. But then you guys heard what happened in San Francisco, right? Over the weekend? Power went out. And what happened to all those Waymos? I mean, in fact, I'm doing a Spectrum One TV spot today about that subject. I just don't understand, or I can't believe that these Waymos are not programmed. Oh, oops, what if the power goes out? What are these things new? I mean, they have this amazing software that drives the damn thing beautifully. They didn't figure out what could happen if the power went out and the traffic lights didn't work. They pulled the whole fleet off now, off the streets of San Francisco. I'm pretty sure they're going to say, wait a minute, what if the power goes out? What if traffic lights don't work? Have we programmed into, because when traffic lights don't work, right? What do humans do? They automatically know, right? It becomes a stop sign. Maybe Waymos didn't know that. It blows my mind that Waymo did not know that already and write it in the, into the programming. And they overall also have had some problems last 6 months with fire engines and police sirens. I'm like, these are simple things that humans deal with every single day, right? But then look, this is the trend and it's going around the globe. And as you know, Doug, we were in a couple of other names, Pony AI, and WeRide, where Uber has relationships with in the Middle East and in Europe and in Asia as well. Look, this is the trend. I believe in the next 10 years, autonomous vehicles is going to be the form of transportation that everybody is going to use, especially if Elon can come up with that $25,000-$30,000 Tesla RoboCab. That's it. That's transportation as we know it is going to get disrupted. Insurance is, as we know it, is going to get disrupted. A lot of markets are going to get disrupted. Obviously, a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers are going to lose their jobs, and because one of these cars does 3 persons work because they don't have to rest, they don't get tired, they don't mess up really that much. I've been in about 8 of them so far in LA. Every time I've been in one, I'm more and more impressed because they drive better than me, and they have improved. So, I mean, there's downside obviously to these things, but yeah. I mean, Uber is up a little bit today. The chart on Uber is horrendous, actually. I mean, that could be the killer for Uber, honestly. Autonomous vehicles come around. Tesla actually could be the killer because they totally have a vertically integrated system or model, right? They manufacture the cars. They're going to put the cars on the network. They're going to zip around and pick people up and drop people off and make money. And I'm working on my own fleet. So when that comes out, I'll break the news because I do want to make money while I'm sleeping. Buy a bunch of these, called Dara, and say, hey, buddy, can you put my cars on your fleet? I mean, on your network? I'm sure he'll say yes. Or call David Risher at Lyft and say, hey, I have these 100 cars in LA. You want to put them on your network? I'll be like, yeah, sure. Okay. I just want to make money. I mean, that's it. I want to look at it in a way that how do I create passive income with these things? Good morning, Sergio. I didn't touch base with your guy. We came to okay deal. Okay. You should get in touch with him, though, Mr. Gambit. I think we're talking about the same guy. Got it, Sergio. What's your personal banking? Okay, my personal opinion. I think that's why I'm not DCAing ETH, but I'm DCAing Bitcoin. But I do understand how important the ETH network is. And I think over long periods of time, ETH is going to do very well, especially with the new L2 coming around now, which expands the bandwidth of the network. More transactions could be done. I think Tom Lee's dream of Wall Street being on ETH and comparisons between us going off the gold standard and synthetic dollars created since 1970s may happen, but then you also have stable coins, right? I mean, there's a lot going on, but I'm bullish on ETH long term. Short term, I'm not sure. Short term, it's a downtrend. It's bearish. It looks bearish to me. But then we're close. We're in this trading range, so I think long term I'm bullish. but I'm more bullish on Bitcoin than I am on Ethereum. That's why I'm DCAing Bitcoin. And but I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum to different levels. I think I'm going to use ETH and BMNR, BMNU as more of a trading vehicle than anything else. I'll DCA Bitcoin, Solana. I'll trade also SOLT and the proxies or whatever you want to call it of these cryptos. But on the long term, I like ETH. I think it presents a lot more than Bitcoin does. Proof of stake, right? Proof of contract. So I'm bullish on ETH. I'm bullish on these three cryptos, the altcoins and stuff, XRP or whatever. I have no idea. I don't have time to study it and create some sort of a reasonable thesis for myself. And yeah, I'm bullish long term. What happens week to week with your options? I have no idea. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, please go check it out. BusinessInsider.com. It came out yesterday morning. It was to my surprise. I didn't know when it was coming out. But yeah, go check it out. One-time thank you bonus, maybe profit sharing years ago. Part-time at Kmart and look at set aside a portion of it. Yeah, I'm working on that. It's really difficult because a lot of workers that work on these platforms are independent contractors. I know a lot of companies do have RSUs, right? Restricted stock units they can issue to their employees as bonuses, or a lot of folks that I know have RSUs. There are legal issues and there is structural issues to be able to do that. I'm working on it. I hope I can come up with, or we, not me and the companies can come up with a solution that it creates loyalty, it creates sharing the wealth, right? Stock does well. Look at Uber stock. Uber stock has done so well last 3 years, right? So why shouldn't the workers or drivers be able to participate in your success? Because we're the ones that are just bringing you here. I mean, without drivers, pretty soon we'll have robots, AVs, obviously, delivery robots and things like that. But until then, we're going to need millions and millions of people doing this thing. And then why not share the wealth? I hope we can come up with some sort of some sort of a solution to that. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. Gambit. I appreciate it. All right. Canada 1, Kentucky Red Hat 0. I don't know what that is. Is that hockey? I guess so. Anyway, so let's go to positions. The link is up here. Let me post it again if anybody wants to come on. There it is. Boom. If you do decide to come on, which I doubt you will, please make sure you're in a quiet place with good internet reception so we don't get cut off. All right, so here's you guys can see this. Let's go to the positions. All right, this is the S&P 500. We're grinding higher. That's the daily chart. Looks good to me. Santa rally, I don't think is going to happen this year. I think we're just kind of grinding here. Although we've gone sideways enough, if we do take off, I think we can get up to 7,100-ish or whatever. But looking at the positions, same positions really. I just added a couple and took profits in Sienna. I'll post my positions full transparency every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel, by the way. So actually, I just saw something that I cannot resist at the moment. Let me go buy 5 more of these. At 160. Yeah, I just did. Okay, cool. When you put an offer that I cannot resist, I will take it. And Where is my offer there? Let's replace that at 150. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, positions, 750 leaps on ASST. I was just selling off now. Amazing, great. 450 of the January 2027 2.5s and 300 of the 5s. This is the Bitcoin play. This is the Bitcoin lottery ticket. We'll see how it goes. Long 3,500 shares of BMN. All the calls expired worthless. Some of the puts expired worthless on Friday. We're at 636. My cost is 778, but actually my cost is probably right around 670 range. We got up to 7 today. I will not sell calls yet, but I'm short puts to add to the position. I'm short the January 7 puts and January 6 puts. Sold the January 7 puts on 187, which will give me BMNU about 5 and change. I'll take another couple thousand shares if that happens. And 6 puts I sold at $1.20. 6 minus 120 is 480. So I don't mind buying some more shares at 480. And if it's above 6 or 7, they expire worthless. Lower the cost basis some more. At some point, I'll sell some January calls, but not yet. I'm long 5,000 shares of Blaze AI, 243 cost. Stock is 216. Sold the calls there. I probably will get rid of it. I actually am long 25 UiPath calls, and that was the ping that I did. Let me see. Let's buy 5 more at 230. So these are off my 52-week high list. Many ways to skin a cat, as we know. What else? And I just started buying Wave Life Sciences. WVE is the symbol. By the way, Path is February 15 calls I'm buying. And WVE, I'm also buying the 20 calls, not the 15s, at $1.50 to $1.55 range. I just started buying them. I'll put another 5 at 145 in case we get a little whoosh going here. These are all directional bets, folks. And a lot of people say, why are you buying calls, this and that? And I'm like, that's where the money is at. And you guys looked at the Sienna trade last week. That was about a 65% trade in about 2 days. And yes, you can sell puts. You can do this. You can do that. I probably will sell puts at some point. In fact, let me take a look at it. Go to January, short January puts, long February calls. Some sort of a vertical synthetic. Yeah. On WVE, 15s are 90 cents. If I get $1 or plus, I'll probably sell those. And same thing on Path. Sell some puts. Stock is 1664. The 15 puts on that one are not worth it. It's about 30 cents January. So we'll see. We'll see where we are. Another name I'm interested in is Fastly. Oh, it's up 50 cents already. Well, okay. Let's see where the February calls there are. February 10s, $1.70. In the money by 70. It's not that bad. And February 12.5s are 70 cents. That's not that bad. I'll probably take a look at that shortly. I do like the company. I do like the chart. All three are very similar stories. Good earnings, popped on earnings. Actually, WVE did a secondary at 19.5, which is good. So now I'm buying that cheaper. Yeah, Path, same thing. Massive breakout on, they do a lot of the AI agents, and they're getting really sticky actually with some of the software. So it's all good. Okay, so indexes, this is the 1 day, 1 year. I mean, nothing to see really. Tesla breaking out. I'll go through some of the 52-week high list. Actually, I'm looking to buy some options on ST, Sensata Technologies. Tesla making a 52-week high today. Nice looking chart right there, folks. And as far as Ethereum, this is the Ethereum ETF. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're either going to bottom here or we're going to take out the lows and make a lower low. There is a potential of bullish divergence on MACD on a lot of these. A lot of actually quantum stocks are going through that at the moment. This is ETHA, which is the ETF of Ethereum. Wherever Ethereum goes is where BMNR is going to go. And this is IBIT, which is the ETF of Bitcoin. Same looking chart, kind of a double bottom, trying here. We're seeing resistance at the 20 EMA. If we do take that out, next resistance probably 50 EMA. All of them, both of them are under 200 EMA. When something is under 200 EMA, my mentor said, don't really even look at it, because that means, intermediate term trend is kind of negative. So we're in a downtrend. We're trying to halt the downtrend here. We retested the low on ETH and IBIT on both, which is same thing for Bitcoin and ETH cash. So yeah, that's where we are. And MSTR is just dogging it. I mean, the stock is 165. I've done a lot of videos about MNAV and things like that. Please go check that out. If you don't understand MNAV, don't trade any of these things. It will definitely hurt you. BMNU, not much to talk about. BMNU will follow BMNR. BMNR will follow ETH. Simple as that. There's nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are, folks. So it's going to be a slow week, I'm pretty sure. And, we'll add to some positions. We'll take some positions off. Follow the new 50-25 rule with the options and 25-12.5 rule with stocks. Other than that, yeah, that's where we are. And go check, actually, I put out a video, was it today? Yeah, today, actually. Yeah, go check it out. It's coming at noon. Talk about the pivot. We have to make sure we're doing the right things. Anyhow, so what else? Any other questions? No questions? You guys want to leave me all alone? So I need to sit here and jabber. Or I'll just put the screen up and then you guys watch the market move. Which one do you want to do? No questions, huh? Okay. I'll come up with next week, actually. I'll come up with my, not New Year's resolution, but New Year prognostication, let's say, where I see the markets going. Tom Lee says we could have a pullback first 2 months, but then he talks about higher Bitcoin or crypto. He was talking about a correction in the market the first few months. I kind of agree with that, but then I'll come up with something for next week. And I actually did that last year when I first started the channel, and I said markets will be up single digits. And I think I'm pretty close. I think markets are up about, S&P is up about 14% so far this year. And I think I said market will be up 8%. So I'm pretty close. Well, if you can call that close. Yeah. I think markets are not going to do as well as a lot of people think. Markets are expensive, and then there's a lot of economic issues going on. I'll actually talk about those economic issues on Wednesday. Margin lending is through the roof. A lot of people are, using leverage to participate. 2x, 3x ETF usage is through the roof, and most people get hammered with those things because they buy and hold these things forever, and it doesn't work. There's a good video about that, about the volatility drag, or slippage, as I call it, on the 2x, 3x ETF. Look, man, buyer beware. Understand these things. If you don't understand it, don't play the game. Honestly, just sit on your hands. And I'll talk about the consumer sentiment. Actually is kind of going nasty. Unemployment's kind of ticking up. So underneath the surface, there's a lot going on. Yeah, indexes maybe a couple of percent from their highs, but you know, crazy stocks are still doing what they're doing. With the SpaceX valuation, Rocket Lab is making a 52-week high. It's doing this thing. That thing goes parabolic. It was at 40 a couple of weeks ago. Now we're almost 80. ASTS, same thing. Lunar, same thing. You know, all these stocks are getting the pump because of SpaceX. Be careful with these stocks, folks. You know, they don't have much fundamentally going on for themselves, but then momentum is a powerful thing. Like I said, quantum names are kind of moving today. Potential bullish divergences on all of them. Rigetti, IONQ, and QBTS, which is D-Wave Quantum Math, looks actually nice. ARQQ is another one. Yeah, they all look like they're double bottoming. They all look the same. Yeah, are we going to get the year-end push in these? I'm not sure. A lot of the power generators are doing okay. All closed down. Oh, that's interesting, actually. That's right at the 200 EMA. I may take a look at that. IREM, you know, these are the poster children for X influencers. Hymns, everybody likes hymns. I don't know why, but it is what it is. If you guys have any questions, please put them up because I'm running out of stuff. So I could go through some of the 52-week high list, but then, you know, a couple of names like Alcoa. See, I like those kind of charts. Freeport McMoran. I like those kind of charts. Okay. American Eagle Outfitters. Give me uptrends. Give me trends I can work with. Give me trends I can buy on pullbacks, such as Sienna that we did. There you go. Right? Okay. So I don't want to deal with stocks that are just, you know, meandering, although they do move a lot. Slow and steady, I think, is better. And what else? Is Uber today? Uber is up a little bit. Yeah, under 200 EMA. I don't pay attention to stocks when they're under the 200 EMA. It's going to be weak. It's going to underperform. So, and where is it? BMNR, is it under 200 EMA? Yes, it is. And it's just kind of going sideways, you know. What if Ethereum goes sideways for a while? What will happen? Nothing, right? And let's go through a couple of more names on the First Solar is breaking out today. Just got in my 52-week high list. And Tesla definitely in the 52-week high list. Carnival Cruise getting there. Some of the lithium stocks got there. Okay, let's go through some of those names. I like Affirm quite a bit. The break of 80, I think we pushed 100 on that. Lemonade, I really, really like. It was red today. Oh, it's still back to red. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's just waiting to explode here. AM Core from the 52-week high list. I like that name. Pull back to 20 MA. You know, Dollar Tree down 4. Good. Okay, pull back. 132 down to 123. We'll give it a shot at 120 for a bounce. Initial bounce anyway. What else is on that list? Micron is on that list, of course. PLAB is on that list. I do like that chart quite a bit. You know, some people worry about gaps getting filled, things like that. I'm like, if the stock is strong, gap's not going to get filled right away. And ST, I do like this company quite a bit. Pull back to 20 MA. This is when we should get on it. How much are they? 35s. Feb 35s. I'm going to cycle out because it's a short month. Don't get stuck with January's. No, they're not that bad. 152, 38 IV. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. So, answer a couple of questions. We'll have a cup of coffee and finish the day. STS, I just looked at. Oh, that was in 2016. It's $20 an hour now. Doesn't belong. Yeah, I mean, that's one reason. That's one reason Tom Lee's so bullish about that. And when that happens, it's going to be on the Ethereum network. So potentially, anyway. And look, there he has his reasons. He's not a dumb guy. He's I don't know if he's the GOAT or whatever, but look, these are smart people. They're investing for the future. They don't give a shit what happens to their stock in a day or two or a week or a month. They're looking way down the road, and I do agree with that part. Tokenization is going to be big, although tokenization, I think, is another way of dumping garbage on retail. And, Robinhood is going to be involved in that, obviously. A lot of people go like, oh, why aren't we participating in SpaceX and OpenAI and things like that, right? Tokenization is going to bring a lot of these overvalued private companies into retail hands. Buyer beware, folks. We've seen this movie, don't be the exit liquidity for Wall Street. I've done it myself, and it doesn't feel right. In some sense, I like tokenization. In some sense, I really don't. I think it's an attempt to dump on retail, to be honest with you. And so be careful. Be careful of what you're buying. ASTS, yeah, it's moving up sharply. All the space stocks like LUNR, Rocket Lab, ASTS, because of SpaceX valuation. SpaceX may be going public, and Elon will be the first trillionaire in the U.S., in the globe, anyway, if they get that valuation. So they're all moving in tandem, right? Stocks move in groups, and a lot of people are saying, well, if SpaceX is worth that much, why isn't Rocket Lab worth this much? Why isn't ASTS worth that much? I'm like, okay. And it makes some sense. Doesn't make total sense, but it makes some sense. I think, they're in the same basket. I haven't studied the Clarity Bill that much, but I will. I think tokenization is more important than that, I think. But look, there is catalysts for crypto to do well, and stable coins. So there's definitely a push to. I'm not going to say clean up, but use stable coins to create liquidity for the funding of our deficits. We'll see. We'll see where things are going to be. I don't want to guess. I can't guess and trade, right? I have a data. The data is the price, the volume. You just take everything into consideration and trade or invest. In my case, I do both. 2 separate accounts, investing account and trading account. I have 4, but I'm maybe adding 1 more stock to my investment account. And in my investment account, I've said this before, I try to go over 1 year, 1 day, a couple of years, whatever. Ride the train as long as I can. So at the moment, I have Google, Lululemon, UPS, and Kava. And Google, I'm up over 150%. Got lucky, bought that properly. Kava back to even almost, or about even. Lulu, I'm up decent. And UPS, I bought a couple of weeks ago. I'm up a little bit, maybe 5-6%. So but I'm looking to add one more. I'm looking to add one more. How big do you plan on going? About 5% of account, maybe. They're $1.50, so 40 options, maybe 40, 50 options, 40, 50 lots. I'm going to go 5% to 10% of the account with this new. It's not new, but and then New Year's. I'll cap it at 10. Depending on the setup too. I mean, if I really like the setup, I may go 10. If not a AAA setup, then I'll go 6%. It's all relative to how I feel about it, and but definitely minimum of 5% of account equity, which is in my case, about 7, 8 grand. So that's what I'm looking for. No rush in buying. That's why I'm going to February, the next cycle over. We have weeks, we have 2 short weeks in a row now coming up, and expiration will come on you real fast, and you're dealing with a lot more data decay if you deal with January. So that's why I'm dealing with February. So that's how I'm looking to do. But they're all going to be the same size. I'm not going to oversize. All these directionals will be 5 to 10%. Let them be synthetics. Let them be calls. Let them be puts. Whatever. But directional is where it's at. I mean, you can sell puts as well, but selling puts and stock rips, and you're just going to collect the premium. That's about it. But selling puts, I mean, directionals do work if you know what you're doing and if you manage properly. But a lot of people don't manage properly. A lot of people just buy and hold options and then get killed. That's why 90% of people who buy options lose money. Good morning, Will. I think the markets are going to get hot for the holidays and the festivities, but it's after January for a while. Like, be blowbacks until Q4 reports. Okay. Your opinion is valid as anybody else's, sir, because I certainly don't know. I don't think market's going to get hot the last 10 days of the year. Low volume, they may get push up a little bit. First quarter is usually positive for stocks because that's where all the buyback happens. Companies announce buybacks, and there's like a little unspoken support there. I'll put out my guess for next year. I do see first couple of months being pretty tough until the Fed is done turning over to the White House, because I think the White House is going to be the Fed. And I think with the midterm elections coming up, they're going to have to pump, because at the moment things are not looking good. Economic indicators are not looking good. If they want to win the midterm elections, they need to pump, not just the market, the economy itself, because Trump won this election with talking to the middle class, if there is a middle class left. But I don't think inflation is under control. I mean, look, they're going to spin the story the way they want to spin the story. It's not political. What I'm seeing out there with credit card defaults going through the roof, car loan defaults going through the roof, now home mortgages are getting challenged. Interest rates have not gone down, although the Fed is trying to lower interest rates by cutting the Fed funds rate. But then on the long end, interest rates are actually 30-year mortgages where it was 6-8 months ago before they start cutting rates. So, I think they're just going to turn the faucets on. And when they do that, right, because even if you look at global liquidity, it's going through the roof at the moment with what's happening in Japan and in China. Go check out global M2. It's absolutely ripping, right? And when that happens, asset classes follow, such as crypto and stock markets and things like that. And in the US, M2 is also growing tremendously. So there's a little bit of a disconnect at the moment, but the correlation will stand. Asset classes follow money. And you have that much money sloshing into the system, asset classes go higher. There's no ifs and buts about it. Look at gold today. Look at silver today. Look at platinum. Ripping, right? Why is that? Well, pretty simple to me. It is, yeah. I don't like it myself, but I think that's what's going to happen. Because Powell is about to leave. We know who the next Fed chief is. We know the governors are going to be controlled by the White House. Bassett is going to be having a hotline between, Treasury and Fed, and they go like, "Yeah, we got to do this, we got to do that." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I mean, my opinion again. That part I don't know. If you know that, then we should be shorting the market. If the Supreme Court knocks down the tariff stuff, that could be interesting. That can introduce some volatility. No, they're not coming down. I mean, part of the car loan defaults, happening, going through the roof, is also has something to do with our immigration policy. It's a lot of the subprime stuff is going through defaults because a lot of people got deported. And who has subprime car loans? Illegals. And it has something to do with that as well. It's not just people are not people. I mean, look at the layoffs. We had close to 1.2, 1.3 million layoffs this year. All the big companies, 30, 40, 50,000, these are good paying jobs. I mean, if you get laid off from Amazon, Verizon, or whatever, or, now you're in a tight spot, you may not be able to make your payments. Credit card defaults are going through, and this is all free information, by the way. I'm not making this shit up. Go to Federal Reserve Economic Data, check it out. There are charts for everything there. Sergio, do you like? I like Chinese ADRs, Baidu specifically. I don't know about the weakening dollar part because their yuan is getting pretty weak themselves because they have a massive debt to GDP problem, deficit problem, and then economic problems, with their own real estate markets. And they're pumping. I mean, their printers are on double time, okay? Double, triple time. Same thing happening in Japan. So the whole globe is inflating, actually, right? Or printing. And but I do like those charts. I like the companies. In fact, I haven't looked at Baba and Baidu for a while. Let me go take a look real quick. Search, can you educate us how to use IVR while selling options? Very difficult, man. It's just, maybe Wednesday we'll get into that a little bit. Implied volatility obviously is something that you need to be careful about, right? It's a changing number. It goes off of VIX, obviously, right? So VIX being on its ass at 14, 15, right? IV is not that high. But VIX starts going up, IV is going to go up. And like before earnings, let's say IVR is increased by the market makers, right? They explode. And once IV goes up, then you have to understand the relationship, right, between the Greeks, how IV affects option pricing. A lot of people make the mistake of selling options when they're high IV. I kind of disagree with that, actually, because IV is anticipating implied volatility, not today's volatility, right? If implied volatility keeps going higher, in fact, you can be in an option, short or long, and stock could be going sideways, but that option can double in price by IV expanding. So a lot of people don't get the concept that they think underlying has to move for an option to double, triple, or go down, whatever. It doesn't. IV is really important, but IV, you got to watch VIX, you got to watch the VIX futures and the cash. There's a lot of correlation between all these things, and certainly something people need to watch. And obviously, IV rank is important as well. And the other thing you need to watch is obviously every stock has, according to the movements anticipated by the markets, they get assigned different IVs. And look, high IV stocks doesn't mean that their options are for sale and it should be sold. High IV, options can get you in trouble. You can be part of a gamma squeeze and things like that. And you got to be really, really careful selling high IV calls and puts. And you may have whipsaw chances there. It just got to be, you have to be really, really careful with that shit. Oh, you're welcome. Let's go take a look at Baidu and a couple of other Chinese names that I like. I think technically they're doing fine. Okay, let's go look at it. This is Baba. I think it's been consolidating actually. Yeah, I do like Baba actually here. Pulling back to 200 EMA. Just kind of a slow grind down for the next leg up. Yeah, I like Baba actually. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. By the way, Baba has a 2x ETF that you guys can trade. I think it's BABX. Is it? Yep, it's Baba. There you go. That's the 2x ETF. BABX. And Baidu. That's also nice. Consolidating. Baba Baidu. I like Billy is the YouTuber China. I like that one quite a bit. That's all. They're all coming back to their 200 EMA. I mean, they're pretty lowish trades on all of them here. EH is the EV toll maker in China. EHAN. I like that one. Tencent, obviously, right? But Baba Baidu are the two big names. Billy is another big name. There is a Chinese ADR. I think it's called. It is called. Let me take a look at my list real quick. I forget some of these symbols. I'm dealing with so many symbols. Let me take a look. X something. Yin, no, Yin, right? YINN. If you like China, and if you don't like single names, yeah, YINN. There you go. Yeah, Baba looks interesting, really, here. It really does. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I mean, you got to pull back on Baba a little bit, you know. If you go back to 3-year, looks this way, but then if you go to 10-year Baba is just consolidating here before the next leg up, it looks like to me. Just this weekly chart going back. And same thing with Baidu. On the 10-year chart, we're just coming off of a massive base with what they're doing, with all the pumping going on, right? These stocks should do well. Some of these Chinese ADRs. Yeah. Okay. Must be getting a little crack on Ethereum. I think we are, yeah. Yeah, we're just getting a little sell-off, and BMNU is acting immediately negatively. Yeah, same thing here. Okay. Yeah. What else? That's about it. Oh, JD. Yeah, I don't like JD. Yeah, that's another darling of X. You know, people go like, I don't listen to anybody like that, man. That JD has been getting pushed since 35. Oh, it's breaking out, doing this, get people throw chopsticks and whatever, bro. You guys don't know shit. Honestly, no disrespect to anyone, but anybody is somebody now on social media. And unfortunately, there is a lot of followers that just go with these people and they just kind of get smashed. And to me, it's like, just do your own due diligence, man. I mean, you know, if markets were that simple that you just listen to some people and make money, we all would be billionaires, wouldn't we? I mean, come on now. If markets were that easy, if only the markets were that easy, they're not. Yeah. Yeah. Gambling. Yeah, right there. There you go. Pure gambling. Why? Why? What does it have to do with any of that? Once expired worthless JD is going to move. Why? I'm not sure why. We just bought something else. Why don't we buy? Probably pass. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we're up to 30. Yeah, that's about right. We'll just keep it there. And buy order only WE. We'll keep it there. Actually, we cancel that one. Should we buy 5 more is the question. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I think we have enough. We'll finish buying those back. Buying them at some point. What else? I do like Fastly. Yeah, I do like that one. And we're on the 200 EMA. We should hold here. That's good. Okay. All right, folks. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. There's no more questions. I'll post my positions on the community page. More than welcome to check it out. None of this is trading, financial, or investment advice. What I do is very risky. Do your own due diligence. Don't do what I do. It fits me. It may not fit you. So with that said, I'll be back on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Maybe then you guys can come on and we can have a little town hall kind of a thing going on. So Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, trading with Sergio. Friday, Power Hour with Sergio. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. Thank you to Business Insider for the article. I appreciate it. And please go check out the website. I put the link up there, www.sergioavadian.com. You're in time to receive the weekly free newsletter if you do subscribe. I'm not selling anything. I'm not asking for anything other than your email so I can educate you and inform you. And if you do like it, please share it. I think it's really, really well done. And on the YouTube channel, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please put a thumbs up. It helps the algo, supposedly, according to my YouTube manager. I take his word. He's the professional. And other than that, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Short day, short trading week, and short trading day on Wednesday. Markets close at 10 a.m. And then we'll have a good time. We'll talk about stuff. Anyway, so with that said, have a great week. Be profitable. May all your longs skyrocket and may all your shorts tank. And with that said, adios.